Settle into stillness. Let the day loosen its grip on you. Let the noise fade, the edges soften, the weight of time grow light. Tonight, we are not rushing anywhere. We are drifting. Far above us, the surface of the ocean glimmers faintly, a trembling mirror of moonlight and stars. But we are moving away from that brightness now, slowly, gently, as if the water itself is guiding us downward. Chapter 1, Where the Ocean Keeps Its Memories. The ocean has many moods. At the surface, it is restless, playful, loud with waves and wind. But below, it becomes something else entirely. Here, the world grows quieter with every meter we descend. Light thins, colors soften, sound dissolves into a deep, steady hush, like the ocean holding its breath. And somewhere beneath us, the past is waiting. For thousands of years, humans have built cities by the water. We've lived along coasts, rivers, and shores, believing the sea to be a companion, a provider, a boundary we understood. But the ocean remembers differently. It remembers lands that once stood dry beneath the sun. It remembers footsteps where fish now swim. It remembers laughter echoing through streets that have not heard a human voice in centuries. These are the lost cities beneath the waves. Not myths, not legends whispered around fires, but real places, once alive with breath and motion, now resting in blue silence. Imagine standing at the edge of an ancient harbor, stone docks warmed by sunlight, boats rocking gently as traders unload grain, pottery, stories from distant lands. Children run along the shore, bells ring, life moves forward, unaware. And then, slowly, almost imperceptibly, the sea begins to rise. Not in a single night, not with thunder or catastrophe, but quietly, patiently, year by year. Glaciers melt far away. Tectonic plates shift beneath the Earth's skin. The planet breathes, expanding, contracting, indifferent to the civilizations balanced on its surface. Water creeps inward. A flooded field becomes a marsh. A road becomes a stream. A city becomes an island. Until one day, the ocean simply does not leave. The people move on or disappear or adapt, and the city, once loud with life, slips into memory. Now, as we drift deeper, those memories begin to take shape. Below us, the outline of stone walls emerges from the haze. Columns rise from the sand like the ribs of a sleeping giant. Stairways descend into nowhere. Doorways open to rooms filled with drifting silt and slow-moving fish. The ocean has not destroyed these places. It has preserved them. Salt water cools decay. Darkness holds time. Coral grows gently over carved stone, not as an invader, but as a caretaker, softening edges, sealing wounds, turning cities into reefs of history. Here time behaves differently. 1,000 years feel like a long exhale. A collapsed roof becomes a home for anemones. A fallen statue becomes a meeting place for schools of silverfish. The sea does not judge what humans leave behind. It only absorbs and remembers. As we continue downward, you may feel a strange calm, the sense that you are floating through layers of time rather than water. Every meter below the surface is another step backward into human history. Above us, the modern world, buzzing and restless. Below us, quiet civilizations, sleeping. And perhaps that's why these submerged cities move us so deeply, because they remind us that nothing we build is permanent, but everything we build leaves a trace. Even now, the ocean floor is scattered with forgotten lives, markets, temples, homes, dreams interrupted not by fire or war, but by slow patience of the planet itself. We are guests here, drifting observers in a place where human time dissolves into geological time. And as the water grows darker and the last threads of sunlight fade behind us, one thought gently settles in. The ocean is not empty, it is full of stories waiting to be remembered. We will visit them soon. For now, just float. Let the water carry you. Let the silence deepen. The lost cities beneath the waves are close now, and they have been waiting a very long time for someone to listen. Chapter 2. When the sea rose quietly. We continue drifting. The surface is far above us now, a distant memory of light. Down here, the ocean feels older, heavier, as if it carries the weight of centuries in every slowing current. This is where change happens quietly, not with crashing waves or sudden storms, but with patience. The earth is always moving, even when it feels still beneath our feet. Continents slide at the speed of growing fingernails. Ice sheets breathe in long, frozen rhythms. And the sea, the great collector, responds. At the end of the last ice age, something remarkable happened. The planet began to warm. Glaciers that had slept for tens of thousands of years slowly loosened their grip. Ice melted into water. Water flowed into rivers. Rivers returned to the sea. And the ocean, almost shyly at first, began to rise. A few millimeters a year, enough to go unnoticed by a single generation, but unstoppable over centuries. Imagine living along a coast during that time. Your grandparents remember the shoreline farther away. Your parents notice salt creeping into wells. You watch the tides reach places they never did before. The sea is not attacking, it is simply arriving. Across the world, coastlines reshape themselves like soft clay. Lowlands flood, valleys fill, islands shrink, and cities, once safely inland, find themselves standing at the edge of a new reality. One of those cities sleeps beneath us now. Off the coast of India lies Dwarka, a city spoken of in ancient texts, once thought to be purely myth. For centuries, it lived only in stories. A golden city built by divine hands, lost to the sea when its time ended. And then, stone walls were found beneath the waves, carved blocks, streets, foundations aligned with human intention, not nature's randomness. The ocean had not erased Dwarka. It had covered it, gently, layer by layer. Not as punishment, not as mystery, but as geology. Far to the west, beneath the Mediterranean, lies Heraklion, once a thriving Egyptian port city. Ships once crowded its canals, temples rose in its center, trade flowed like blood through its heart, until the ground beneath it softened. Earthquakes shook the delta, sediments liquefied, buildings sank, and the sea stepped in to finish what gravity began. One day, Heraklion was alive. The next, it was slipping beneath the surface, swallowed not in chaos, but in silence. Down here, you can still see it. Massive statues lying on their sides, faces calm, eyes closed as if resting. Temple pillars standing where priests once walked. Stone anchors scattered like punctuation marks at the end of a sentence history never finished writing. The sea did not rage, it accepted. Even in the Aegean, near Greece, ancient settlements now rest underwater. Villages drowned as sea levels rose after the Ice Age. Homes once warmed by hearth fires now echo only with the sound of passing currents. What's striking about these places is not how they ended, but how slowly they disappeared. Civilizations didn't vanish overnight. They adapted, retreated, adjusted their lives inch by inch as the shoreline crept closer, until one day there was nowhere left to go. And so they left behind something precious, proof that humanity has lived in dialogue with the planet, not above it. The lost cities beneath the waves are reminders of humility, of impermanence, of the quiet truth that Earth is not static, it is alive. And the sea is simply the planet's memory made liquid. As we drift through these submerged streets, notice how calm everything feels. There is no fear here, no urgency, only the steady pulse of water moving through spaces once filled with air. Fish glide through doorways where people once passed. Seagrass sways where voices once rose. Time has softened every edge. And perhaps that's the most comforting thought of all. That even when cities fall, even when civilizations fade, they do not disappear. They transform. They become part of the ocean's quiet archive, resting, preserved, waiting for curious minds to rediscover them. We are not just exploring ruins tonight. We are floating through moments where human history and planetary history gently touched and then drifted apart. The water grows cooler now, the pressure steadier. Another city waits ahead, deeper, darker, older still. Let your thoughts slow. Let the images blur softly at the edges, because in the depths below, the ocean has more stories to tell. Chapter 3: Cities that became silence. We drift deeper now. The water presses softly around us, like a long, steady embrace. Light no longer reaches this far in any familiar way. Instead, the darkness glows faintly, not empty, but alive with drifting particles, slow-moving creatures, and the quiet electricity of the sea itself. This is where silence lives. Not the silence of emptiness, but the silence of things that have finished speaking. Beneath us, another city rests. Its outline is subtler now, less grand, more fragile. Low walls, narrow pathways, foundations barely rising above the sand. This was not a capital or a port of empires. It was a place of ordinary lives. And perhaps that makes it even more powerful. Off the coast of modern-day Japan, near Yonaguni Island, massive stone structures rise from the seabed. Terraces, steps, sharp angles cut with unsettling precision. Some believe they are natural. Others feel instinctively that hands once shaped these forms. No one knows for certain, and the ocean does not answer. It simply keeps the secret. This is one of the quiet truths of the sea. It allows mystery to exist without explanation. Some submerged cities are well documented, mapped, measured, understood. Others exist only as questions carved in stone. Far west beneath the Black Sea, scientists have found ancient shorelines, places that were once dry land before sudden flooding transformed them into seabeds. Wooden structures, tools, signs of daily life sealed away by oxygen poor water, preserved for thousands of years. Homes that never decayed, moments that never finished unfolding. It's possible that people lived here, farming, building, dreaming, until a dramatic rise in sea level turned their world into water almost overnight. If so, imagine that moment. The sea arriving faster than memory could adapt. Boats drifting where fields once stretched, horizons dissolving, and then silence. Down here, the ocean does something remarkable. It slows everything down. Decay pauses, time stretches, history stops aging. The lost cities beneath the waves are not ruins in the way we imagine ruins. They are not broken by time. They are held by it, wrapped in cold, sealed in darkness, protected from the hurry of the surface world. A ceramic bowl still sits where it was left. A stone step still waits for a foot that never returned. A doorway still opens to water. And as strange as it sounds, there is comfort in this. These places are no longer vulnerable to war, or fire, or forgetting. They have stepped outside the human cycle of rise and fall and entered something quieter, something more enduring. The ocean has given them rest. As we float above these submerged streets, you may feel a gentle melancholy. Not sadness exactly, but something softer. A recognition that everything we build is temporary, that this impermanence is not failure, it is part of the design. Civilizations are not meant to last forever. They are meant to exist long enough to be lived in, long enough to be loved, and then to let go. The sea does not erase meaning, it absorbs it. Every lost city beneath the waves is still part of Earth's story, a chapter written in stone and silence, readable only by those willing to slow down enough to listen. And here, in the deep, listening becomes easy. Your breath slows, your thoughts loosen, your sense of time softens around the edges. The ocean is not asking you to mourn these cities. It is asking us to remember them gently. Ahead, the darkness deepens even further. This is where reflection begins, where questions rise instead of structures. What will remain of us? What traces will we leave behind? Not answers tonight, only wonder. We drift onward toward the final quiet place, where the sea, the cities, and our own brief lives meet. Chapter 4: What the Ocean Teaches Us About Time. We have reached the deepest part of our journey. Here, the water is still, not frozen, just unhurried, as if the ocean itself has settled into listening. The cities we have passed now lie above us, layered memories resting quietly on the seafloor of the mind. What remains is not stone or structure, but meaning, because the lost cities beneath the waves are not only about the past, they are mirrors. They show us what happens when human time meets planetary time, and how different those clocks truly are. For us, a century feels long, a lifetime feels vast. We build with the hope that what we create will outlast us. But the earth thinks in longer breaths. Mountains rise and vanish. Oceans appear and retreat. Coastlines wander like thoughts. The sea does not hurry. It does not moan. It simply continues. And yet, it keeps everything. Every submerged city is still there, not gone, not destroyed, just transformed into a quieter form of existence. The ocean hasn't erased humanity's footsteps. It has softened them, blurred them, folded them into something larger. Perhaps that is the lesson, that permanence is not the same as meaning. A city does not need to last forever to matter. A life does not need to be remembered endlessly to be complete. What matters is that it existed, that it lived. When archaeologists descend into these underwater worlds, they do not find tragedy frozen in stone. They find continuity, evidence that humans have always adapted, moved, reshaped themselves along a changing planet. The sea rises, we move, life continues. Even now, new cities are being built along coastlines. New harbors glow at night. New streets echo with voices and dreams. And far in the future, some of these places too may slip quietly beneath the waves. Not as a failure, but as part of the rhythm. The ocean does not punish us for building. It simply reminds us not to cling. As we float here, in this final stillness, notice how gentle that thought feels. There is no urgency in it, no fear, only acceptance. We are temporary, and that is what makes us precious. The lost cities beneath the waves are not warnings carved in stone. They are lullabies sung by the earth itself, reminding us that change is natural, endings are soft, and nothing truly disappears. Everything becomes part of something larger. Stones become reef, city becomes habitat, memory becomes meaning. And you, listening now, are part of the same story. Your breath, your heartbeat, the quiet awareness drifting through you, all shaped by the same planet that raised mountains, melted ice, and lifted seas. The ocean does not ask us to be afraid of time, it asks us to flow with it. So let your thoughts drift like silt in deep water. Let the past rest where it belongs. Let tomorrow wait. For this moment, there's only calm. Above us, the cities sleep. Around us, the ocean hums softly. And within you, something ancient recognizes something true. You are not separate from this world. You are moving with it. And as the last image fades, stone dissolving into blue, history exhaling into silence, allow yourself to rest in the same gentle way the cities have, held, remembered, at peace beneath the waves. Sleep well, traveler. Good night.